It's not a very happy picture in Bitcoin today. That drop last night unfortunately killed a few dreams. What this is starting to look like is a little mini version, isn't it, of the big bear flag bounce or the bounce that we made starting in July after this first ABC correction. So we had a rally, then we had a second leg that went twice the distance, and then a lower high. This was 50%. If we measure from here to here, this was to the 50%, couldn't get above it, and down we dropped. And here we've done the same again. So we've had a rally, a bigger rally, 50%, couldn't get above it, couldn't get above that moving average. If we look here, this was 50% as well, and down we are back at the lows. And so it looks like we're repeating history on a smaller scale or a fractal and headed for a breakdown. Now, if we zoom out, because this first leg was only to the 38.2, one of my harmonic pattern rules that I remember is if your first leg is only ever to the 38.2 or 50%, you're always looking for at least a 1.618 extension. So if we do our at least 1.618 extension, that's how we come up with our support zone. Oops, down here. So this is where we are at 1.618 of this corrective rally, as well as the 61.8. So I'll take that away. So that's where we get our support zone from. Here in Coinbase, it's between sort of 7,000 and 7,200. At Binance, for example, in Tether, it's slightly higher. Their mileage varies a little bit, so it's sort of 7,200, 7,400 zone. But that's where we are looking for. Remember, this is Bitcoin, so it loves to go beyond levels and spike a little bit and then sometimes snap back. If we were going to do that here, I don't know if we'll see that here, but if we did, you know, this low here, maybe 6,600. So be careful leaving an order with a tight stop because it can be spiky. Now, we might normally, I would say, if this is a 5-wave sequence lower we're looking for here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would normally say that wave 4 and wave 2 should be equal in time, or could be equal in time. That lines up with this high here, saying that we'll drop from here. We won't spend too much longer. But I wouldn't be surprised, you know, because this is a very squeezy market, and as the closer you get to a turning point, quite often it'll slow down. So it may be that this ABC here was just the first leg in a bigger correction, and in which case that would put us up to here. It would put us back to this low. It would put us back towards the daily 50 and 200 moving average. But unfortunately, because of this 50% thing, because of this holding onto the moving averages, this would still be bearish, and then we would still be looking for this to reverse up here and do that final leg down, unfortunately. So it would just mean that we're delayed and it's going to take longer getting there. So those are the scenarios that I'm looking for in Bitcoin, and I'm still looking towards the 7,000 support. If we look at it, say in Tether, at Binance, so 78.40 was the back pattern, and then the major support down here is 7,000 to 7,400. I'm just going to do it from the bottom and the lows like this. And it's our 61.8 fib level, which is 7287 here at Binance. So yeah, not terribly happy news, you know, unfortunately. That's, yeah. But for people who wanted to buy it lower, cheaper, they're cheering. As I said, you know, this was a 50% reversal. If it's just a correction, then 50% going this way should have held as support, and it didn't. That's where we were looking for last night. And this 200 moving average, you know, our first dip, that was there and it bounced, but it just kept going, so we've lost it, unfortunately. Not everything is looking terrible. You should be absolutely thrilled. Last night we looked at this lovely bottoming pattern in Theta, and what we've seen today is a lovely explosive move out of it, which is what you would expect to see, and going very well. So pattern targets, usually you measure from the neckline, which I think is here, to the bottom low, and you project that from your breakout point, which I'm going to say is either here or a little bit higher. So if we say conservatively, we're looking at this 786 fib, I think, next, but probably the 886 if we measure it properly. And that's going to be our next target for theta. It's not working for me very well. Hold on. Yeah, but let's pop in that 886 fib at 1295. So 1292, 1295 should be our target on the upside. Make sure we don't stall there and take some profit if you see that happening. But really, we've got us kind of, yeah, otherwise I would say top of the range, but looks a bit dodgy. Let's hold on for that 886 fib level and see how we do for theta. But theta Bitcoin looking very nice. Again, if you check it against US dollar, you will see that we are going up very nicely against the dollar as well. So no concerns there for theta. Buy pullbacks, that's the only thing.